So today we're gonna be talking about the different programming languages. Especially me using Python for a pretty long time in development, in business, etc. And my goal always to teach my students, those who I'm trying to teach programming, what's the main difference between different languages and which of them they should use in different periods of time. So today we're gonna try to compare Python, Java, PHP, PERL, Ruby, JavaScript, C++, and TCL. You are on a Codebase channel where we are trying to teach you how to become a developer fast and easily. Let's get started. So, Python is one of the most popular programming languages. Currently, each of the following 6 languages are being used by programmers for developing both desktop and web applications. That is why it is important for programmers to compare Python with Java, Ruby, and etc. to pick the right language for their project. We're gonna start with the Java. So first of all, Python takes less time to develop, although it is expected to run slower than Java programs. Do not forget that both of these languages are interpreted ones. But anyway, Java has become much faster in the previous versions, and even though Python has some features that Java does not have, Java still is faster, but it's not as fast as, for example, C++ or any other language. Due to Python, high-level data types and its dynamic typing programs are shorter than Java programs. This is the second point to keep in mind. PERL. Although both these languages are considered similar in many ways, PERL supports common application-oriented tasks like report generating, file scanning, etc. And while Python supports for common programming methodologies like data structure design and OOP programming for programmers making language to readable code. So basically, Python allows you to get much more readable code than you could get it with PERL, actually. But anyway, it's still considered as a pretty good language that can be used in different approaches, and you should take a look at it. TCL is a standalone programming language and it is considered weak on data structures. And what is second part, it is much slower in executing code compared to Python. And if it's slower compared to Python, that it will be compared to Java or C++ much slower too. PHP. Actually, this language has a lot of different things to compare between Python and itself, so we gotta take a look at several of them. The first one, Python has ready-to-read code, while PHP has more syntax from C and C++ or PERL. So meanwhile Python has its own syntax, PHP is some sort of a child of C++ and PERL in common. In Python, classes are used extensively in the standard library, while PHP has SPL, which is fully class-based, and it's a cool feature of PHP that seems like an advantage. Also, Python supports structured exception handling with most PHP functions. Don't use exceptions for reporting errors. When you're trying to create a program, it is much easier to have Python with exception handling, but lots of developers who use PHP have found some tricks to use it. Development features in Python are provided by an add-on, while PHP has them built in. And finally, Python supports major GUI frameworks. But at the same time, you can use basic web development for the PHP and there are no problems with it. Ruby. Compared to Ruby, Python has a rich set of data structures, internal functions, better namespace handling and use of modules and iterators. Also, Python supports multiple inheritance while Ruby does not. And to close all its scopes, Ruby requires AND or curly brackets, while Python uses the white spaces only. Ruby is preferred for web development and functional programming, while Python for academic and scientific programming, even though you still can use Python for all the different tasks you would like to. And also Ruby work on do more with less philosophy, while Python has a philosophy of one right way to do things. Basically, as for me, the Ruby philosophy is much closer. Maybe that's because I'm just lazy, but you never know. Talking about C++, Python code is quite shorter than the most programming languages, just like C or C++ or any other one. And as long as Python is a dynamically typed language, C++ is a statically typed language. This is not an advantage or disadvantage, this is just a fact. And which is better to use in which time, it is just up to you. And talking about the JavaScript, do not forget that Python is a server-side and JavaScript is a client-side thing. Also, Python uses indentation and whitespace, while JavaScript uses curly brackets to designate blocks of code. Sad to say, JavaScript has become some sort of a multiple programming language for any task nowadays, and it's becoming more and more popular. Nowadays we have some sort of a competition between Python and JavaScript, as long as Node.js and all the JavaScript frameworks have become kind of their development way really good in the past several years. So which language is better to choose in this case? It is all up to you. And I'm just gonna stick up with Python and gonna try to learn you more on it. As always, you were on a CutBay channel. If you have liked this video, please do not forget to push the like button and to subscribe. I'm gonna happy to see you later. Bye.